Hill riot by Donald Trump supporters. The House Speaker was not home at the time. Well, Turkey is marking its 99th Republic Day with celebrations all across the country. On October 29th, 1923, Turkey declared its official name and proclaimed itself a republic. Since then, the nation has celebrated the moment as its annual Republic Day. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan celebrated his People's National Republic Day, noting that the founding of the nation had not been easy. He said the past 20 years have been a turning point for the country in which obstacles and barriers standing in Turkey's way have been removed. He said, quote, "We are continuously trying to uplift the Republic of Turkey, founded 99 years ago under difficult conditions. With our growth in democracy and infrastructural development in the past 20 years, we have successfully removed the obstacles our nation faced. We've also lowered the barriers between the people and the government. Turkey is a country with an impressive democracy, economy, and diplomacy that preserves its national unity and brotherhood despite various attempts to undermine our nation." From Ankara, our correspondent Claire Harriet reports.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan launched the AK Party's Century of Turkey programme at an event in Ankara on Friday evening. He unveiled a series of programmes, projects and targets as the country prepares to celebrate its centennial in 2023.
In this century of Turkey, let's transform our country into being a moving force of the global wheel instead of one of the cogs of it. Let's make the century of Turkey a period in which our national and local values inform universal values, and in which we speak our word to this age. Let us move towards a future with hopes, dreams, self-confidence and courage. Let us face both East and West, but continue to always face the truth.
Vowing to make Turkey one of the 10 best performing states in the world across the fields of politics, technology, defence and diplomacy, the President highlighted the country's efforts as serving as mediator between Russia and Ukraine.
At a time when wars, conflicts and tensions are increasing all around us, we are the only country that makes sincere efforts for peace by establishing an equal, moral and fair relationship with all parties.
Erdogan said that at a time when the world is facing vital challenges, Turkey wants to make a strong start to its second century. They're packing up now this sports complex in Ankara, which was absolutely packed with AK Party faithful who'd come to hear the President's speech. He talked for 2 hours straight in both abstract and concrete terms. In abstract, he spoke of the values and the visions, particularly the century of Turkey vision going forward into the election year 2023, the centennial year. He also spoke about the infrastructure projects that have been implemented and the ones that are planned. He said that he mentioned the controversy around some of the plans and said the opposition was against, for example, the canal in Istanbul, but he vowed that it would go ahead. He said the country was strong today and it would be stronger tomorrow. Claire Harriet, TRT World, Ankara.
Vebi Baisan is an associate professor of history at Ibn Khaldun University. He explains the significance of the Republic Day for the Turkish people.
It means a lot, no doubt. This is because we are celebrating now the 99th anniversary. It's 99 years. And next year, of course, as the government and namely President Erdogan emphasizes in the international arena, that is the century. It's a century after establishing the Republic. But let's remember, after World War I, especially, that after the Ottoman Empire lost a lot of its territories, and what was left for what we call Turks is a very fraction of, from 21 million square kilometers where Ottoman Empire was controlling. And in fact, the idea of kind of creating another state or even fighting back the occupants was kind of not there. But thanks to Atatürk and his team, they said, well, we shouldn't accept the defeat and we should do something about it. And the War of Independence started in May 1919, and they succeeded. So it's very important to mark this, that no one ever pressured them to do this, and they declared republic. They said, well, from now on, it's people themselves, the ordinary folks, should govern themselves, and therefore the republic, Cumhuriyet, was announced, and the Turks or Turkish public, in fact, very much sensitive in protecting it, and that lasted so far 99 years, and we hope that lasts much longer. And now you can see Turkey is an important regional player, mediator, and makes things happen in international arena. And let's also remember that 85 million population is governed by republic.
October is Black History Month in the UK, where there are calls for children's books to have more diverse characters. According to the Centre for Literacy in Primary Education, only 15% of children's books published in the UK have a minority ethnic character, but 1/3 of the country's school children come from a minority background. Lape Olarinoye reports.
Children's books like this one, written by a black author, were rare in the UK just 10 years ago. But things are changing.
And I know growing up, I was reading books where there was no one that looked like me in those books. And now people are taking the responsibility and taking matters into their own hand and writing books like myself.
Rachel is one of a handful of black British authors using their storytelling to enact social and educational change.
The hardest part was finding an illustrator who understands black skin tones and that black people don't have rosy cheeks and we have certain features. So I use my children's images to guide the illustrator to make sure the images look like my children.
Although things do seem to be improving, researchers still say that black children do not have the same experience of literature as their white peers. For independent publishers like Louisa of Kunda Kids, the availability of black literature and history needs plenty of improvement.
What really prompted us as parents was the fact that we saw how little representation there was for young people in children's literature around African history, African culture.
The disparity in literature has changed over time. A new research revealed the proportion of children's books featuring a minority ethnic character has almost quadrupled in the last 4 years.
When children fail to see themselves represented in the content they read and in the content that they enjoy, they recognize the world that they see through that content as true. And if they don't see themselves, they will regard themselves and their presence in spaces as less important.
There is still some way to go before UK children's books accurately reflect the reality of the school population. But the speed of change serves to reinforce the benefits and tangible impact of diverse representation. Lape Olarinoye, TRT World, London.
The coronation of the Zulu king has taken place in South Africa. Thousands of people turned out at the Mabhida Stadium in Durban to see the historic ceremony of King Msizulu Kazwelithini. The king has been officially recognized by South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. It's the first Zulu coronation since South Africa's democracy in 1994. And one of rock and roll's founding fathers, Jerry Lee Lewis, has died at the age of 87. He died at his home in Mississippi. Lewis was best known for a string of pioneering hits, including the 1957 smash, Great Balls of Fire. He was a rock and roll trailblazer and was the last survivor of a generation of groundbreaking performers that included Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, and Little Richard. Stay with us. Headlines are next.
You're fine, so kind. To tell this world that you're mine. It's just great balls of fire.
Straight Talk breaks down Turkey's place in the world.
Over the last decade, several conflicts have broken out on its doorstep.
triggering a power shift that is transforming a volatile region.
We bring clarity to that change and the policies that are shaping this nation of 84 million.
Straight Talk, understanding the challenges facing Turkey and how it's adapting to a changing world.
The future flagship of Turkey's Navy begins sea trials in a show of force that many analysts say could change the balance of power in the Aegean and Eastern Mediterranean. How have Turkish drones changed the power balance in conflicts like Libya, Syria, and Nagorno-Karabakh? I'll break it all down here on Straight Talk.
Straight Talk on TRT World. Hello and welcome to Showcase, TRT World's arts and culture program coming to you from Istanbul. A unique perspective on culture, an inside look at art, influential guests and current trends, the latest fashion, inventive design, architecture, ancient and modern, all packed into Showcase on TRT World.
You're watching TRT World. I'm Rachel Rubel. A reminder of our main headlines. Russia has deployed an additional 1,000 troops to the strategic Ukrainian city of Kherson. Both sides have been exchanging fire as Russian and Ukrainian forces prepare for what could be one of the war's most consequential battles. In the northeast, Russian forces have been bombing Bakhmut for days as they close in on a town that will give them greater control of the Donbass region.
Although Russia is trying to increase the pressure on our positions by using mobilized people, they are so poorly prepared and equipped, so badly treated by the command, that it suggests that Russia may soon need a new wave of sending people to war.
Authorities in the Philippines have recorded at least 45 deaths from Tropical Storm Nelge. It's caused landslides and flooding in the south. More than a dozen people are still missing and 33 others are injured.
Our house has been damaged from a previous typhoon, so I'm worried if the storm intensifies, it could destroy what's left of our home.
I'm afraid of the storm, but I need to go out and work. Otherwise, our pigs will go hungry if I don't feed them.
The world's fourth biggest democracy will choose a new president on Sunday. More than 156 million people are eligible to vote, and the choice is simple: their current president, Jair Bolsonaro, or their other former leader, Lula da Silva. Polls show the election could go either way. San Francisco's police chief says Friday's attack at Nancy Pelosi's California home was not a random act. The husband of the Speaker of the House of Representatives was violently assaulted by a man carrying a hammer and reportedly shouting, "Where's Nancy?" Paul Pelosi is being treated at the hospital where he underwent emergency surgery. He's expected to make a full recovery. The suspect has been named as 42-year-old David DePape. He is now in custody. And October 29th means celebrations across Turkey. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has visited the mausoleum of the modern republic's founder, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, to mark 99 years since the birth of the republic. Erdogan also accepted greetings from several dignitaries at the presidential complex. Do stay with us. The news continues right here on TRT World.
I'm also committed to fixing the immigration system for good.